What's up, guys? Overthinking is the enemy. So, yeah, today's topic is just kind of around overthinking because I've really been an overthinker my entire life. Like as I mentioned before on this channel, I've had to go to therapy, eighth grade year, freshman year, and even before, really my whole life. Like, yeah, I don't go to therapy anymore, but that still doesn't mean I don't overthink because I definitely do. And man, overthinking takes away the joy of like everything in life. Um, so recently, I competed at my last powerlifting meet. That was August 23rd, so about a month and a half ago, and I was as prepared as I could be. I handled everything. I checked off all the boxes in my preparation, so there was no reason to worry, right? Like training is what's hard. When you show up to compete, you're just having fun. Like you're pretty much displaying all the hard work that you put in. It's like a celebration, pretty much. It's a performance, like you're performing for the crowd there. So that being said, you would think it'd be a lot of fun, right? And it is. Like it is a lot of fun. I've done 8 or 9 competitions now for powerlifting, and every time I'm there on the day and I'm competing, I actually end up having the time of my life. And by the time it's all over with, I'm like, what was I so worried about? Like I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Cuz the whole lead up to it, uh the week of, the night before, I'll just be so nervous, man, and I'm kind of a pain in the ass to be around, and you know, and it's like it's weird too, like cuz that's the thing, like deep down, I know there's nothing to worry about because I know I did everything I could. And I know at the end of the day, it's just lifting weights. It's nothing like too serious. Like life is still going to go on. Nobody's going to even remember the competition like a week later. And nobody is going to really care, to be honest. So it's all the pressure, I'm putting on myself. And I think we do that in life. Like, we have all these crazy expectations and we think if we don't hit them that the world's gonna end, but it's okay to fail, it's okay to fuck up. um, there's no such thing as failure. You either win or you learn. And I've found in my life that the times where I do fail or I lose, those are the times where I grow the most. Like i don't I don't I'm not the type to coast if I win or if I'm doing really good. I don't coast, man. I never have the mindset that like, okay, I arrived, I made it to the mountaintop, because that's just the beginning of the end. But I will say though, if I lose or if I don't hit a goal, something's different, man. I feel even hungrier than before, like way hungrier. So don't be afraid to chase failure, like because that's the reason why I kind of overthink before these competitions. Is like I'm so afraid to fail. But in the past, like the times where I did fail, I came out an even stronger, hungrier, motivated, hard worker, and I became even better from it. And that's not with just lifting, that's anything in life. And so like if that's my worst case scenario, then dude, so be it. If I don't win now, I'm gonna win eventually because I just have that work ethic and I got that dog in me, man. Not everybody has that dog in them. So it it is what it is. I think some people are born with it, but you can definitely develop it too. You just have to toughen up a little bit, get some thick skin, and just go through the ringer sometimes in life. Like life is not going to be easy. Um, but I'll tell you one thing: overthinking. Like if you just think about your problems or your life over and over and over again, that's not going to make the problems disappear. You're not conquering those problems. Like, you're literally in the same spot. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so let me just give like a real life example, because not everybody does powerlifting, obviously. It's a very niche sport. Let's just say, like, let's say you got a flat tire, right? And so that's something that could happen to anybody, right? Whether you go home that night and you're like, fuck, man, like, my tire is blown out. How am I going to be able to afford this? Where do I even go to get the tire? Whether you're thinking that or you're like, well, it happened, it is what it is. Regardless of which side you choose to think, your tire is still flat. Your tire is still blown out, and you need to get a new tire. Those are the facts. That's the real story. Now, the story you tell yourself in your head, it's all made up bullshit, you know? The fact is, you got a flat tire, you need to go get a new tire. That's it. Leave it at that. Don't worry. Like, you're literally only going to make things harder on yourself. And I'm telling you guys this from experience, because I've spent my whole life worrying, you know? Um, so another example, let's say, like, you know, somebody at work said something about you, or maybe somebody else got that promotion that you thought you deserved, right? Well, it's over with, you know? You can't control the outcome of that. You're not the one doing the hiring and firing. So, and especially if you did everything you could at that job to move up, you got no regrets, man. You did everything you possibly could. Um, Maybe you had a bad interview. Maybe they're just looking for a different personality type for that specific role, and there's nothing you did wrong. You know, maybe God has a different plan for you, and that role wouldn't serve your purpose. You know, so you gotta trust His plan and not your own. Lean on His understanding and not your own. Um, that's one of my favorite Bible verses. I have it posted in my bathroom. I forget the book and the verse and all that. I'm not very good at memorizing scripture, um, but yeah, we got to lean on His understanding and not our own, guys. We think we know what we want, but we change our minds so much, especially if you're in your 20s or your teens, or hell, even older than that. Um, what you want now, you probably won't want 10 years from now. But God knows what you need to have, and He knows when you need to have it. Because, you know, a lot of times we overthink and we chase success. And I think sometimes God is hesitant to give us that success too early because of the person we might become. Like, have you guys ever seen, like, a young person get rich and it just ruins them? It literally ruins them. I mean, I've seen it, and it doesn't even have to be famous, right? It doesn't have to be fame. Like, obviously, yeah, like people like Conor McGregor, Mike Tyson, you know, they got that money and fame really early, and it kind of ruined them. Um, they got into drugs. They just weren't the same fighters after that. Obviously, they're wealthy and doing really good for themselves, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it changed the trajectory of their careers. And I mean, if they weren't famous, they'd probably be locked up because of some of the stuff that they've done, you know? And I'm a fan of both of them. But if a normal citizen, like, did some of the shit they did, I mean, they'd probably be locked up still, you know? But, I mean, so yeah, like, you got to be really careful of wanting certain success too early. It's not bad to chase it, but if it doesn't come to you, you know, don't think it's the end of the world, because it could be for the better, honestly. I kind of view that in the same light as meeting the right person, you know? I've seen so many stories of like couples that have met later on in life. Maybe they're in their 30s or something, and they're like, "Gosh, could you imagine if we had met in our 20s? Like that would have never worked out. I was a different man back then. I was down the wrong path, or I wanted the wrong things. I didn't know who I was as a person." I've heard that so many times, and yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Like, because yeah, guys, some of the stuff I wanted and some of the women I liked back then are completely different now, and that's normal. We're gonna change, so as humans, that's just evolution. So my point is what I'm trying to drive home to you guys is like, let that happen. Give it to God. Let the stuff naturally occur. Let the evolution naturally happen and change. Don't overthink it. Like, get up every day and just be. I'm not saying be a lazy slob, but just be, man. Get up every day, do what's in front of you, focus on what you can control, and don't worry about that other shit because it's only going to hold you back. You're only going to waste your time. You're never going to truly reach your full potential, and you're going to be left wondering, like, what the hell, man? Like, I I look back now on my life, and at the time there wasn't much I could do because I was just an overthinker. But now I know for sure, like, I wasted so much of my life just overthinking, dude, and just being anxious all the time and depressed for no reason. And looking back now, I'm like, dude, God had the wheel the whole time. I, you know, I should have known it was going to be all fine. It was all going to work out. And that doesn't mean, I'm not going to go through trials and tribulations just like you guys, um, or just like anybody. We all go through that. But it's a lot smoother when you include Him in your life and you trust the bigger picture, Um, because a lot of people they pray and they're like, oh well I prayed for this and I'm still poor and God didn't help me. But it's like,